Some discoveries sound like internet myths, the kind of stories that belong on conspiracy forums. A mechanical computer built more than 2,000 years ago. An underground city capable of housing 20,000 people. A prehistoric stone complex older than the pyramids by thousands of years. A natural nuclear reactor that operated before humans even existed. Each of these was once dismissed as impossible. Each of them turned out to be real. The deeper we look into ancient history, the less primitive it appears. In 10th place, the Baghdad Battery stands as an artifact that seems almost too strange to be real. It is a clay jar from ancient Mesopotamia, sealed with bitumen, that housed a copper cylinder and an iron rod. It was discovered in 1936 near Baghdad, and it has fueled speculation about forgotten ancient technologies, with claims that it could generate electricity long before the age of Volta. Laboratory replicas, when filled with vinegar or grape juice, reliably produce a small voltage, typically between 0.5 and 2 volts. Yet no chemical residue has ever been detected inside the original, and mainstream scholars urge caution. Most archaeologists interpret the jar as a ritual container or perhaps a storage vessel, pointing to the absence of any contemporary devices that would require electricity. The debate continues, grounded in careful analysis of the materials, copper, iron, and bitumen, while the artifact itself remains a modest but persistent mystery at the edge of ancient science. Number 9. The Longyu Caves present a puzzle on a monumental scale. Discovered by chance in 1992 in Zhejiang, China, these hand-carved sandstone chambers stretch up to 30 meters high, with more than 15 caverns mapped so far. What makes them extraordinary is not just their size, but the precision. Walls and ceilings bear uniform chisel marks, confirmed by LiDAR and three-dimensional modeling to follow consistent patterns across vast distances. Modern dating techniques, including optically stimulated luminescence and uranium-thorium analysis, place their construction between 200 BC and 600 AD. Despite this, no records name the builders or explain their purpose. The engineering required rivals that of imperial projects, yet the caves remain silent about their creators, leaving only the evidence of immense planning and labor beneath the hills of Longyu. In 8th place, the Nazca Lines seem almost engineered to spark wild speculation, a vast network of shapes and figures etched into the Peruvian desert, visible in their full glory only from the sky. Early explorers wondered if these were ancient runways or coded messages to the heavens. Yet rigorous scientific work has stripped away much of the myth. Radiocarbon dating of charcoal and plant remains embedded in the shallow trenches, places their creation between 500 BC and 500 AD. Optically stimulated luminescence tests on the exposed sands support this window, confirming the line's antiquity. Over 800 geoglyphs have been mapped using multispectral satellite imaging, revealing alignments with the solstice sunrise and the Pleiades constellation. Soil analysis shows the lines were made by removing dark pebbles to expose lighter subsoil, creating a lasting contrast in the arid climate. While theories of ancient aviation persist in popular media, no evidence supports their use as landing strips. Instead, mainstream archaeologists interpret the Nazca Lines as ritual pathways or astronomical calendars, blending landscape art with ceremonial purpose, a feat that remains astonishing, but firmly within the reach of ancient ingenuity. Number 7, the Saqqara bird looks at first glance like something plucked from a modern toy shop. A sleek, hand-carved wooden figure with a wingspan and tail that seem almost engineered for flight. Discovered in 1898 inside the Tomb of Ptahmes at Egypt's Saqqara necropolis, this sycamore figurine measuring 15 centimeters has inspired decades of speculation about lost ancient technologies and even claims of forgotten Egyptian gliders. When scientists put it to the test, the story shifts. Micro-computed tomography scans and scanning electron microscopy confirm careful craftsmanship, but computational fluid dynamics and balance tests reveal a rear-heavy design that would make stable flight impossible. No launch mechanism or aerodynamic controls are present. Egyptologists point to ritual symbolism linking the bird to Horus or the solar journey rather than any practical experiment in flight. The Saqqara bird endures as a reminder that appearances can deceive, and that context and engineering analysis are crucial for separating myth from material reality. Number 6. Roman self-healing concrete stands as a material paradox, ancient ruins that repair themselves, surviving where modern structures crumble. The secret lies in a carefully chosen blend of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, first identified in harbor walls and piers built between 200 BC and 200 AD. Recent X-ray diffraction and scanning electron microscopy have revealed the critical role of philipsite crystals and calcium aluminum silicate hydrate called CaSH, forming when seawater seeps into cracks. This reaction triggers new mineral growth, effectively sealing the fissures and restoring up to 90% of the material's original strength in laboratory tests. Far from a lost alchemical recipe, the process is a deliberate engineering choice rooted in the Romans' empirical understanding of pozzolanic ash. Modern scientists have replicated these results, confirming that the concrete's resilience is not myth but measurable chemistry, an innovation that continues to inspire materials research today. In 5th place, the Piri Reis map unsettles expectations of early modern cartography. Drawn in 1513 by the Ottoman admiral Piri Reis, this gazelle skin parchment depicts the Atlantic world with a level of detail that has fueled centuries of speculation. At first glance, the southern bulge of Brazil and the precise rendering of the African coastline seem far ahead of their time, leading to rumors of lost civilizations or ancient global explorers. Yet material analysis tells a different story. Spectroscopy confirms the ink is a classic iron gall and cinnabar mixture, while paleographic study of the calligraphy and colophon matches early 16th century Ottoman records. Modern GIS overlays reveal that the map's accuracy along the Brazilian coast rivals Portuguese charts of the same era, but the supposed depiction of Antarctica dissolves under careful projection analysis. Mainstream historians now agree. Piri Reis synthesized the best contemporary sources, Portuguese, Arabic, and his own observations, into a remarkable but thoroughly explainable artifact of information exchange at the dawn of the Age of Discovery. Number 4. Derinkuyu. Underground city defies ordinary expectations of ancient engineering. Hidden beneath the plains of Cappadocia, this sprawling labyrinth was rediscovered in 1963 when a resident knocked through a basement wall and stumbled upon a descending staircase. What lay beneath was astonishing. A city carved at least 85 meters deep into volcanic tuff, mapped by ground-penetrating radar and laser scans revealing more than 200 rooms across multiple levels. Radiocarbon and thermoluminescence. Dating of hearth remains and pottery shards place its main period of use between 800 BC and 500 AD. The city's most remarkable feature is its ventilation system. Circular shafts engineered to bring fresh air down to the lowest chambers, supporting life for up to 20,000 people during times of siege or unrest. Wells tapped groundwater. Communal spaces clustered around kitchens and chapels, and massive rolling stone doors sealed off passages. Far from legend, Derinkuyu stands as a testament to large-scale subterranean planning, verified by modern survey and dating techniques, and a powerful reminder of how human ingenuity adapts to the threat of catastrophe. Coming to the top 3, the Antikythera mechanism stands as an enigma that seems almost anachronistic. A bronze device salvaged in 1901 from a Roman-era shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera that reveals a level of mechanical intricacy far beyond what textbooks once allowed for the ancient world. For decades, the corroded fragments puzzled scholars. Only with the advent of high-resolution X-ray computed tomography and synchrotron imaging did its true nature come into focus. These scans uncovered a labyrinth of at least 30 interlocking bronze gears, their teeth cut with such precision that they could model the cycles of the sun and moon, track the Metonic and Saros eclipse cycles, and even predict the timing of the ancient Olympic Games. Gear ratios embedded in the mechanism replicate celestial cycles with a mathematical accuracy that rivals modern clockwork. Metallurgical analysis shows high-purity copper alloyed with lead for castability, confirming advanced foundry skills. Greek inscriptions revealed by multispectral imaging tie the device directly to astronomical and civic calendars. The consensus among historians and engineers is clear. The Antikythera mechanism is the earliest known analog computer, a product of Hellenistic science centuries ahead of its time. Its discovery forces a reconsideration of what ancient minds could achieve, not through myth or speculation, but through the hard evidence of gears, mathematics, and the enduring language of the stars. Number 2. The Oklo natural nuclear reactor forces a reconsideration of what nature itself can accomplish, long before humanity entered the atomic age. In 1972, French scientists analyzing uranium ore from a mine in Gabon stumbled on an anomaly. The uranium-235 content was slightly depleted, a clue that the ore had once fueled a self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. Geologists soon confirmed that, nearly 1.7 billion years ago, at least 9 separate zones in the Oklo deposit operated as natural reactors. Uranium-lead isotopic dating of quartz and zircon fixed the timing, while laboratory measurements of neodymium and xenon isotopes revealed unmistakable fission signatures, identical to those found in spent nuclear fuel today. Neutron transport simulations show that groundwater acted as a moderator, enabling cycles of nuclear fission that ran for about 30 minutes at a time before heat boiled off the water and paused the reaction for 2.5 hours. This pulse and pause rhythm continued for hundreds of thousands of years, all without human intervention. The Oklo site stands as the only known example of a natural nuclear reactor, its physics and geochemistry verified by decades of peer-reviewed research. Here, the evidence is so overwhelming that speculation about ancient technology is unnecessary. Nature, it turns out, mastered atomic energy long before humans ever split the atom. And finally, in first place, Gobekli Tepe stands as the most paradigm-shifting discovery in the archaeology of early humanity. At first glance, the notion of colossal megalithic sanctuaries built by hunter-gatherers thousands of years before the first domesticated crops seems almost too improbable to accept. On a limestone ridge in southeastern Turkey, excavations since 1995 have revealed more than 20 circular enclosures, each ringed by T-shaped pillars weighing up to 20 tons and rising 6 meters high. Radiocarbon dating of charcoal from construction layers combined with optically stimulated luminescence measurements beneath the monumental stones consistently points to a primary phase around 9600 BC, which is over 6,000 years before Stonehenge. Three-dimensional scans of the site's intricately carved reliefs show a menagerie of wild animals, lions, snakes, foxes, and boars, their forms still bearing traces of ancient pigments under microscopic analysis. Petrographic studies confirm the pillars were quarried locally, then levered and dragged into position with methods that challenge assumptions about Neolithic technology and social organization. The sheer scale and complexity of Gobekli Tepe demand a rethinking of the sequence of civilization, placing communal ritual and symbolic architecture at the dawn of settled life, rather than as a consequence of agriculture. Mainstream scholars now see it as a gathering place for far-flung groups, a center for feasting and ceremony that rewrites the timeline of human complexity. The evidence is clear. Before the plow, before the village, people gathered here to raise stone giants, leaving behind the oldest monumental sanctuary in the world, and a profound reminder that the origins of belief and community run deeper than anyone imagined. Across all 10 discoveries, one pattern stands out. Physical evidence continually expands the boundaries of what we know about ancient societies. Each find, rigorously documented, challenges our assumptions and invites humility. The past is more complex and more astonishing than any simple narrative allows. History is still revealing its secrets.